Hey guys, welcome back to Star's channel. Today I'll be showing you 10 secrets to hold your handstand, and this is really useful. I've been trying to hold my handstand for a while now, but once I discovered these 10 secrets, I've been able to hold them for a lot longer, so like about 10 seconds now, but before I could only hold it for about 3 seconds, so that's a big improvement. And this is actually part 2, and part 1 was how to do a handstand. I think you find it very helpful if you check that one out, because I did include a lot of tips on how to hold your handstand in that one too, but even if you can do it, I recommend checking it out, and the link is in the description down below. So without any further ado, let's get started. Whoa, wait, before we get started, we're going to do a like, subscribe and notification bell challenge. You have to press all those buttons with your thumb in 5 seconds. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Did you do it? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. Now, let's actually get started. Secret number 1 is to just warm up, and I find that this helps me a lot because once I'm warmed up, I can actually do the move a lot better and hold it longer. And lots of people skip the warm up, but that's not a very good idea because 1, you can injure yourself, and 2, it's not your best ability if you do it without warming up. And if you warm up, I find that you can get your center point, which I will talk about later on the videos. If you're wondering, make sure to keep watching and make sure to watch this video all the way through because I will include loads of helpful tips and tricks to hold your handstand longer, and you don't want to be missing out any of these. So if you're struggling for any warm-up ideas, I actually did post a warm-up, the link's in the description, and it's a full body warm-up, and it's actually the one I use, and it gets you warmed up really well. And the second one is you can use my flexibility warm-up as well. Even though it won't be as helpful, it's a lot shorter, and I also recommend that, and it's in the description down below. Secret number 2 is to work on your form. And if you're not sure what it means, it's basically just how you go with your handstand, how you hold it. And I did talk about this in my video before. So what your form should be like is when you're going in, you should lunge. I'll talk about this afterwards as well. So you should lunge in. It should be quite a big lunge. And then you should go into this pose where your whole body's straight. So like this. That's it. You're going to go down, your hands are going to be on the floor, and the legs are going to be up. And then you're going to kick with your other leg all the way up, using power but not too much power or you fall over. And then you're going to hold it. So when you do your handstand, everything should be squeezed tight, your legs should be together, and your eyes should be looking at your hands down. And you should also be shifting your weight and doing some work with your fingers. I'll also talk about that later on in the video, so keep watching. I think videoing yourself is a really good idea if you don't have anyone to say what you did right or wrong, because you can just video yourself. I recommend to put it in slow mode because it helps you find your mistakes better, and you can just try your handstand and then you can look back at it and you can see all the mistakes you made and then you can improve them. Another way of improving your form is on a wall, and you can just work your handstands on a wall. It really helped me to just get the feeling of how it feels like and help me work on my form as well. Another tip for you is to just be straight, not slouch. Keep your hands straight or not bent, or you're going to fall on your face. Secret number 3 is your hand placement, and this really helped me because it's one of the most useful tips. And what I mean by that is to just put your hands the right width apart. So I talked about this in my other video, but I'm going to explain this in more detail. When you're doing your handstand, your hands should be just in line with your shoulders, no more, no less. When you're having your hands in your handstand, it should be right by your ears. So a good way to remember that is to just keep your elbows just like this. And this really helps, as this just helps to bounce the center. Secret number 5 is to work on your lunge. I learned this later because I didn't really think it was important at first, but now I think it's really important and it helps a lot. So the lunge is the first thing you do when you go into handstand. So you go like this and then go in. You shouldn't just be going into your handstand without kicking, or you get no power and you're going to go down really quick. If your lunge is too small, you're not going to go up on your handstand and you're going to come down really quickly. But if your lunge is too big, then that's not going to help either. I'm going to show you the right lunge now. So when you do the correct lunge, you should have your hands ready, and when you kick in, you should step forward with your front leg, and then you're going to kick back, and then all your power should be on this leg, and you're going to just kick back and then you should put your hands on the ground. Also, when you're doing the lunge, people tend to put their hands too close to their toes, and I do not recommend that, because if you do that, even if you get the best lunge in the world, you're not going to get a good handstand hold. The sixth secret is one I find the most helpful, and is to just put different parts of your weight on different parts of your fingers and grip down onto the ground. Your hands should be gripped like this, and this just helps to get better grip on the floor instead of just having flat hands. And also you should be adjusting your weights. If you're falling over, you go on your palms and you push them down really hard, but if you're going in front, then you push on your fingertips, and that will just help you come back up. Secret number 7 is to work on your upper body strength. And a handstand involves you to do a lot of this, and if you don't have it, even if you follow all the tips in this video, you are just not going to get this. And really good exercises to work on that are plank. There's 2 versions of this. The easy version is this one, and the other version is this one. Another exercise is sit-ups, and they look like this. And I recommend to do about 20 sit-ups every day and about 30 seconds of plank, and that will help you increase your upper body strength. The 8th secret is to try different variations of the handstand, and there are lots of variations, but I personally find the normal one the easiest, but there's stag, double stag, splits, and lots of people find splits the easiest because you're balancing weight on both sides. And if you can't do splits, then I recommend checking out my splits video, which I posted, and it's this really easy hack that no one tells you, and the link is in the description down below if you want to check it out. And if you want to improve your flexibility, then I recommend following along to my flexibility routine. That is also in the description down below. You can also try walking when you do a handstand, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in front. It can be behind, even though that's not good practice, and you can just move your hands around a little bit. Secret number 9 is to find your center. What I mean by finding the center is to just balance your weight, and then each time you try, you should hold your handstand for a different period of time if you can't hold it for that long. And then when you're doing that, you find your center. So I don't know how to explain this because it's really hard, but you just have to keep trying, and eventually you will find your center. Lots of people say practice helps you hold a handstand longer, and that's because each time you practice, you get closer to finding your center, and it just becomes a lot easier. And once you practice a lot, you eventually know what your center point is, and you go into it immediately. Secret number 10 is to control your breathing, and a lot of people find it's hard doing a handstand. The secret to this is you need to breathe through your nose, and you have to do this slowly, because if you do it too fast, you might run out of energy. So what you do is when you're going into your handstand, so you're in this shape over here, you should breathe in to your nose, and I recommend breathing through your nose. You can breathe through your mouth, but it will be a lot less helpful. You need to make sure your breathing is a little bit slower, but don't make it too slow. And then once you're coming in, you breathe in, and then once you're putting your hands on the ground, and then you're kicking it up, you should breathe out again. And then during your handstand, you should just breathe normally. And then once you're coming out, you should just repeat the same thing again. And the last thing I want to say is make sure to keep practicing, persevere, and be confident in yourself. Just keep practicing and never give up, even when it's hard. And I recommend to do this about 5 to 10 times a day, and just work on your handstand for about half an hour each day. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to give this a big thumbs up if you want more gymnastics tutorials, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up as well. Subscribe to my channel because I spend a lot of time working on this video for you, and also press the notification bell because it will notify you every single time I post a new video. And make sure to share this video with all your friends because this is really helpful, and if they can't do a handstand, this will really help them. And also comment on my discussions tab if you want any more gymnastics tutorials, and if you do, what do you want me to say next. And also if you have any other video suggestions, then leave them down below. I just want to give a big shout out to Amethyst Bowls. Thank you for subscribing with notifications turned on. If you want to shout out, all you have to do is go to my discussions page and type shout out once you subscribe and notifications turned on. And make sure to watch another video on my channel because it really helps me grow my channel. And I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!